Recording is in progress, Travis. Did you know that? Did you know that you were recording? You are recording.
Wait, I was kind of freaking myself out with that look.
Your
Whew.
face is going to get stuck that way.
I
Hey,
know that's what's going to happen.
join us today for a rare hatless episode.
It is a hat. I didn't even notice until you said that.
Yeah, I
Look
just
at
like
us.
it's not often.
Look at my birthmark. I'm letting it shine.
Yeah, I was thinking like, man, Travis got them ears lowered
Yeah.
and looking spiffy.
Yeah, man.
You should go to Butt Cuts and get your $5 back. Just saying.
That's right. Yeah. I wish it was just $5. Dang. Haircuts have gotten way too expensive.
I mean, I let it get to where I have to remotely comb it, and I just shave it down, and then I let it grow back, and then remotely. But I always miss a spot, and I have to have Anna come like shake my head up.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Well, Clint, it's a happy week.
Woo Pig W.
The Hogs went in and shocked the world, baby. Woo, big
They're
suey.
on they're on like the next four out or something like that. Like they're showing them a
Yeah, man.
borderline tournament team after just one win. They were a disaster a week ago.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything much more satisfying in Razorback fandom than watching Kentucky fans leave early from Rupp Arena?
I mean, maybe watching Texas fans leave early from
That'd be,
Texas
yeah,
Stadium.
yeah.
That'd be the only thing close.
In basketball, that's probably the most satisfying, unless you're
Well,
talking in a national championship or something like that. I mean, but regular season,
yeah.
that's it. That's
So when
that's
it comes
the
to
that's
basketball,
the donkey ride to heaven right there.
when it,
Watching.
when it comes to basketball, Kentucky is number one. It
Yeah.
just is what it is.
SEC, yeah.
They're the number one in the SEC. So anytime
Well,
you can beat them there, congratulations.
well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that game, what we saw from that. We'll
We're going to
talk
tell you what their
about
final record's going to be.
yeah,
We're gonna sort it out right
that's
here.
right. We'll figure it all out. So folks, like, share,
Subscribe.
comment. Tell us what you think about what we say. When we say comment, that's what we mean. Get in
Comment.
there and say, hey, you guys are idiots, or you guys are the smartest, best looking guys on the internet.
All right. Geez Louise, that guy with the
There's,
flamingo shirt is handsome.
that's, yeah, just whatever you want to say it.
Just get
Just
it out.
don't hurt our little feelings.
We're
We
very
don't,
sensitive.
we don't want to cry. Just, I mean, if you tell us we're an idiot, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
I can call
but
my dad and he would do that right now.
that's right. Yeah, he can just for the heck of it. Just
Yeah, just like,
yeah.
I feel like hurting your feelings.
That's right. So, folks, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And now listen to some music as we get ready to start the show. What's up?
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Ever seen a blind man see? I promise you a change his name. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change his name. Broken heart made whole. Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen the weak find the strength? I promise you a change is there. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed? Ever seen
What's up, everybody? It's time. It's time for the Hawg Slop podcast, baby. We're talking where we talk Razorbacks, we talk whatever else we come up with. You never know. But we talk a lot of Razorbacks. I'm here, Bigger T, your boy, joined as always by my best friend, Big C, Clint Clark. How you doing, Flamingo, man? You look like you're vacation ready.
Dude, I was like, I was like, man, I'm wearing a cutoff t-shirt under this. And I'm wearing and I was like, man, I need to go put on a shirt. And I just like, man, I ain't wore one of my wine shirts on the podcast in forever. Might as well break it out tonight. It's comfortable. It's flexible. Look at that. I'm like, I feel
Look
like,
at there. Yeah.
like I can fight. I can fight in this thing.
Look at the mobility. The
I can.
mobility.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. Look
I
at
mean,
it.
for those of you listening on Apple Podcast or
He
TuneIn
is
Radio,
flailing about.
I'm flailing about, just showing
Flailing
how
about.
this is, and as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert, like I can use this shirt's also a weapon.
Yeah.
It is a weapon.
He will black belt your face with that thing.
Listen,
Dog.
I'm going to tell you right now, Travis. I mean, most people they play it coy, like, I can't hurt you. Like, you put me in a Hawaiian shirt. This is
done.
In a normal man's hand. It's a Hawaiian shirt. In my hands, it's a weapon. Weapon. And whatever you do, please do not make me back any of that.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's got a gas bubble. He can't do it right now.
Like it's like one of them things, like, yeah, since I've, started training martial arts, and thank goodness I've not been in a real fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 2008.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've been in an actual real fist fight since like 9th grade.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, even now that I trained, I'm like, I do not want to fight anybody. Like I play fight all the time,
Well, and now, even though it won you some of those fights back in high school and junior high, the swim technique of punches, as you've learned, is probably not the best.
Yeah, no, like really, what we're talking about is when I was in 7th grade, me and Robert Branscombe got into a fist fight.
Yeah.
Why?
Owner of Hometown.
I have no idea why.
I'll tell you why.
Oh, go ahead.
Because everybody talked about the guys that got attention that got in fights. And both of y'all, like me, like to get attention.
Okay.
So y'all wanted it, and you probably did something to make each other mad.
Yeah, I probably upset. Like it's usually me doing something to provoke Robert.
Like brothers, that happens.
Yeah.
And so
we've known each other since we were
when
5.
you can make each other mad and get attention. Because I mean, in fights, everybody gathers around.
It's a win-win,
about you, especially at a small school. Man, yeah. I mean, I had to figure out other ways because I wasn't much. You know why I didn't fight in school, Clint?
Because you weren't stupid.
Well, and I was the biggest guy in the school.
Yeah.
Every time, right? So here's the deal. If I win the fight, oh, well, I was bigger than them. I should have won.
Yes.
But if that smaller guy gets me, I'm all of a sudden, he's David, I'm Goliath, and he just did the coolest thing ever for history.
You know what? It's funny you say that because when you do, and I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but jiu-jitsu tournaments, they have like the weight class.
Mm.
And then at the end of it, they'll do absolute. If you medal, you can do what they call the challengers or absolute, depending on the tournament.
Yeah. And
I will never do it.
Yeah, yeah.
For that very reason.
Exactly.
I know a lot of guys that do it. And people say, somebody, we were talking about this on a forum on a BJJ Facebook post probably. And I said, I don't like doing them for that very reason. They go, well, you've not met the right small guy yet. I'm like, dude, I've met plenty of small guys that can kick my butt.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, one of my best friends, Aaron Mihar, he's from the gym, just moved back to Louisiana, going to miss that guy. I know he's not listening. I could talk all kinds of junk about him, but I'm not going to. Like 135 pounds, and he chokes me on a daily basis. I'm just saying, like all the freaking
time. And that makes you feel real good about yourself. You're like,
yeah, I know.
This little guy's just whipping the dog out of me.
But I know enough about the sport to know, like, hey, I can see how this favors the small guy. Where if you're Billy Bob over there, I can't believe that little Asian kid just beat that big old hillbilly.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he's better than me.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what to tell you.
He's skilled.
So, yeah.
Quick.
But no, you got to make. I listen. I'm not going to tell you who won that fight. Just use your imagination.
That's right.
Think about it. I brought it up. Okay.
Slid that in there.
But honestly, in schoolyard fights, it don't matter.
No one wins.
No one wins.
Yeah, no one wins.
No one wins because at the end of the day, you're just an idiot.
That's right. That's right.
And whatever we were mad about, it wasn't worth being that mad.
Yeah.
So
Well, Clint, speaking of school,
Yeah.
I had an epiphany today. You know, I work at a school,
Yeah.
and every day I sit down with my students and we have the school lunches. Now, school lunches have changed since we were in school. And, you know, they're different. Even like the Clinton was different than when I moved to Greenbrier. And
Right.
of course, like the school I worked at last year was different than the school I'm at now. School I'm at now is actually pretty good. We get a couple options every day, and they got like a little salad bar. Usually have some banana peppers or some jalapenos. So even if the food's real bland, I can throw some of those on there and add a little, you know, flavor to it.
You remember the potato bar at Greenbrier?
That was fire. Yeah.
Dude, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would skip lunch, go straight to the potato bar.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, dude, how much ranch dressing do you think we poured on those potatoes? Like it was listen, for those of you that came, Travis, explain the potato bar to people.
It was, you got a baked potato. They had chili. They had cheese, like liquid nacho cheese, the stuff like you get out of the pump at the gas station.
They had ranch,
sour cream, all that stuff, bacon bits. And we would just pile it up. I would put all that on it, except sour cream. I'd put every bit of, like I'd mix.
I wonder why we're fat.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was a gut bomb, man. I don't know, like if I ate that today, I would have to go take a nap in between my trips to the bathroom.
Dude, I ain't gone to the potato bars forever.
I hadn't either. But today we had something that is gotten common at schools that we didn't have when we were kids.
Okay.
The walking taco. Have you ever had a walking taco?
I've never had a walking taco.
Okay, they sell them at fairs. Is that where they started doing it?
Okay.
Well, what it is, now Doritos makes bags that are specially made for this. But what they do is they give you a bag of nacho cheese Doritos that's kind of like a bag cut on the side. And they put like taco meat in it and shredded cheese. And then, of course, you can go with the salad bar and put stuff in it. Sometimes they'll have salsa and stuff. They didn't have that today. You get sour cream if you want to or whatever. And it's a walking taco. You eat it out of the bag is what it's made for. Okay. But that's a regular at our school. Like we have that.
No, it's like a dip.
It's like nachos in a bag.
Yeah.
It's like nachos in a bag. And it's Doritos. Like it's official like Doritos nacho cheese chips too. It's not like the cheapo stale nacho chips either.
I'm triggered.
But the last school did it too. Like the last school I was at did it. It's a regular thing. Something else they have now is Crispitos. Like the gas station food Crispitos. They have those on a regular basis, which I thought like when Michelle Obama did the crazy cuts to the, school, make the school healthy.
Yeah.
School lunch is more healthy. I figured that would have been one of the things that left, but apparently they still stuck.
Well, I mean, I guarantee you think that's what got the potato bar?
Yeah, that probably was. Yeah. But
I don't know. They probably looked at the budget after me and you went through with the potato bar.
So besides the potato bar,
yeah,
like and now like like at our school too, my favorite thing we do is they do orange chicken, which is just like boneless chicken bites, like balls or whatever.
Yeah,
with orange chicken sauce on them, and they give you some like fried rice with it. It's really good. Like salty as all get out, but it's really good. So, and I think about I look forward, now you look forward to those days, and then other days you're like, okay. So back in school, Clint, what was your go-to? Like when you heard it was on the menu for that day, you were like, yes, they're having this today.
Everybody remembers the pizza, right?
Of course, yeah.
The pizza. But I'm going to give you something, Travis. When they had the hamburgers, that good old beef-like substance.
That soybean.
That soy
made into beef flavored.
It was. What do you think percentage of ground beef?
20% maybe.
Maybe,
yeah.
Maybe it makes those Flanders burgers you get like 24 for like $20. 24 of those burgers at Walmart for like $5.
Yeah.
As you heat it, it'll separate from the.
Yeah.
it makes those look like 100% grade A Angus beef.
Yeah.
But it's so
Now, one of my favorites. Now, this was I can't remember if Greenbrier had this very much. I think in junior high we did, but I know in Clinton in elementary school this was a regular side dish. But I would eat it like I would eat a ton of it because no one else liked it besides me, or like a lot of people didn't like it. Was kraut and weenies.
yeah.
Did you
See, I
ever
don't
have
like.
that?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Uh, I'm not a big kraut. Now I'll eat kraut like
Yeah.
on a Reuben, but with weenies, no, I don't.
See, that was one of my favorites, and they do those, those red beef weenies. They'd cut them up and put it in it, and like I would, of course, that was, as a fat kid, you knew what people like. I knew the kids that didn't like their pizza, and I would try to sit by them on pizza day. I knew kids that didn't. Did you drink milk? You didn't drink milk, did
No,
you?
you took my milk.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I normally took your milk. I thought I remembered that
Yeah,
right.
because I didn't like milk.
Yeah.
I had to
It's-
talk them into letting me get a glass of water.
yeah,
Like, I'm not going
yeah.
to drink the milk. I'm like, please let me have a glass of water.
Yeah, yeah. But I would always so I had people like that I would always
Yeah.
that I knew, but the thing was with the kraut and weenies, dude, I would end up with a tray full because people like a lot of people didn't like kraut, especially
Yeah.
like in elementary age. You think, I mean, why would they even
Yeah,
get it?
I mean, listen, I went like these kids' palates aren't adventurous.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know,
right.
I was my son. We went all the way to Biloxi, Mississippi, and that boy got a burger and a fry everywhere we went.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean a bun, a burger, and a
yeah,
order of fries.
yeah.
They put ketchup on his burger at McDonald's, and he refused to eat it. Not ketchup, I mean a cheese.
Oh, cheese?
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna eat this. There's cheese
Does
on
he
it.
just eat it plain?
Yeah, he just I mean, he'll get adventurous now and put like mayonnaise on it. But I mean,
Really? Wow.
but yeah, maybe ketchup. But I mean, back then, that entire trip to Biloxi, Mississippi, the boy would eat nothing but a plain burger and fry.
I had a kid in my youth group that I took him. He was a kid that like had never been to but a couple restaurants in Camden. Like he didn't have a lot of money. His family didn't go out to eat much. And so like he'd been to McDonald's and the Chinese place, and like his parents would go to the Chinese place and like a Mexican place in town. That was the only places he would go eat out to eat. And so like I took him, with church stuff, we went to sometimes I would take my kids to, on church stuff to some nice restaurants, and he was a kid that lived like he would help me with. I'd go him and I'd take some guys to go pick up some stuff, sometimes on for like mission trips or whatever. And so one time I took a group of kids. They went to help me get we borrowed a tent from the state convention, and I had a gift card to Red Lobster. And I said, all right. And these kids had never been to Red Lobster in their life. One of the kids had, the other two hadn't. I said, all right, I'm taking you to Red Lobster, but you can't get a burger. Because this kid would go to a Mexican place and get a burger.
Yeah,
Like he would go wherever he would go get a burger. And I said, I'm not going to let you get a burger. He's like, well, what can I get then? I said, first of all, they probably don't have a burger on the menu, which I was wrong. They had a burger on the kids menu.
yeah. I figured they'd have a burger and at least chicken.
He showed me that on the kids menu when I first got there. I said, I don't care. I said, you're getting steak and lobster. I said, I'm paying for this with my card, and then I was footing the bill for the rest of it. He said, I've never had steak. I said, well, and this was a Mexican kid, okay? So his mom cooked traditional Mexican food. I said, well, you have. I said, it just looks different than that picture. I said, when you have it, your mom slices it up real thin and puts it on tacos or like, and other stuff. I said, it's just beef. It's just sliced up real thin. He goes, oh, okay. I said, it just comes different. He's like, oh, okay. Man, he loved it.
I bet he did.
He loved steak. He loved the lobster, man. He'd never had lobster before. It was great. And then of course the cheese biscuits were awesome. But anyway, so I recognize that. So let's get to basketball. That's enough.
Sorry, yeah, you got us off on a tangent there.
I did, man. School lunches. Hey,
That's
they're
cool.
fun.
Right.
Well, Saturday the Hogs went in. Cal got some booze.
Yeah.
People were making did you hear I forget that girl's name.
Yeah, on College Game Day,
On
said the last thing
ESPN,
you'll do is
yeah.
go visit your ex with a downgrade.
Yeah, it's like going in the club with a downgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was eating those words, I guess. But I mean, but going into the game, that makes sense, right? I mean, Arkansas wasn't looking good. We'd won one game in the SEC, beat Georgia, looked good again, looked bad against a bad Oklahoma team, wasn't shooting well. Um, and then we came out, Clint, and just played different. Now, I want to ask you this question. I have some thoughts on this, but I want to see what your response is. Did Arkansas play just above their heads there because of the game, or what do you think?
No, I don't think they played above their heads because of the game. I think you're looking at a deep SEC, and the difference between this game and the rest of the games, the shots went in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're doing more things. I think, I do think Boogie Fland being out has helped John L. Davis.
Yeah.
I do. I think he's getting to do what he does.
I think it's helped Wagner too.
Yeah, Wagner too. That being said, you still like to have a Boogie Fland.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying this team's better off without Boogie Fland.
No.
But no, I mean that's just the reality of the situation. His game is more suited to having the ball in his hands and it not running to another player. So no, I don't think they played above their heads. I think they just played to what they're capable of doing. I mean, you're talking about a team that, of course, Hunter Dickinson was out, and they beat Kansas.
Yeah.
You're talking about a team that, I mean, they've won a few other games. I'm brain farting on them. I know.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, Clint, and I agree with you, and that's why I asked this, because I think some people are, especially non-Razorback fans are talking like, okay, that Arkansas played above their heads because of the three players going back to Kentucky, and that may have been part of it. And we'll see going down the line, okay? But I think for the first time, and at least for one game, we saw what we are expecting from this team. I think what we expected to see from Wagner was what we got the other night. I think what we expected to see from John L. Davis was what we got. Now, Thero is blowing everybody's mind, okay? When he was at Kentucky last year, no one expected him to be one of the best players in the SEC this year, okay? They expected him to be good, but no one expected him to be the guy carrying Arkansas, okay? I mean, when we brought him in, he wasn't expected to be this.
Well, I mean, it's safe to say at this point, Boogie Fland's gone next year. You're not Boogie Fland's going pro.
Yeah.
But we're also in the age of NIL, I honestly think Thero is the only one that's probably playing himself into a first round discussion where you would want to go ahead and enter the draft.
Yeah.
I
Possibly.
I anticipate most of the other guys being back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Knox has stepped up. What we got from him the other night was what we were hoping to get from him. A talented freshman like that. You got to remember, he was a well thought of freshman coming in, highly recruited.
Yeah.
So that's really what you expected to see from him. Big Z's playing a little, we're getting a little more of a shooter out of him than we maybe expected. Okay. So we may be getting a little more out of him than expected, but still we're getting about what we thought we would get in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And also I'm liking what I sing out Billy Richmond. I think everybody's favorite part of the entire post game was Billy, stop it.
I know that reminded me of me dealing with my kids at the school.
Stop it.
They're always trying to get in fights and arguing with each other.
There's he's like, well, I mean, you know what? They've been sometimes when you've been just eating it and having to eat it and having to eat it and having
Yeah.
to eat it, like they've been hearing it. They're not immune to the noise.
Yeah.
Now, Travis, they're showing us in the NCAA tournament bracket now. We have got what the first next four out or something like that. So we're a bubble team. I think right now we'd have to play
Yeah.
a play-in game. Now, Travis, do you think we can go on a run and make the tournament from here, or do you think it was?
Well, let's just kind of look at the rest of the schedule and see what we got. Kind of
Yeah,
talk through it a little bit. We got Texas. That's a
yeah,
winnable game.
that's tomorrow night on ESPN2
Yeah,
at 8 p.m.
that's winnable.
Yeah, they are 15-7. And I'm saying I'm going to see what Texas is. I mean, yeah, Texas right now it looks like they've got them 79% likely to win it. It's a winnable game. Being at Texas, I would probably call it a loss.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I would call it a loss. Now that being said,
The next we have Alabama.
Alabama 19-3 Alabama, coached by Nate Oates.
Yep.
Obviously, we've had Bart Reed on here, and he'll tell you that I think he's a fan of Nate Oates.
Oh yeah.
It says Nick Smith
It's hard not to be.
would probably went to Alabama had Oates guaranteed him a starting job.
Yeah.
And he said Oates wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Oates would not do it. And so most people would be like, oh yeah, for sure you're gonna start.
And then the next game will be I guess LSU will be at home.
Well, hold on. Now, see, we're calling Texas. We'll call Texas a win.
Well,
How do you think are they going to do at Alabama? How do you think Alabama?
I'm just afraid that's a loss.
You never know that game they'd have to play above their heads because one thing Mullins would always say in games that it was going to be tight. He goes that the teams are kind of equally go with. They play their best. They play their best. We win.
Yeah.
And we usually win those games. They play their best. We play our best.
We lost. Yeah.
We lose.
Yeah.
Bama's good.
Now LSU, I think that's a winnable game.
Well, that's a Wednesday night game at home. Yeah, it's definitely winnable. I mean, I think it's winnable for sure.
Then we got after that we got A&M.
A&M at A&M, a 17-5 A&M team.
They're number 10.
What helps is that's an early
Right
game, so the crowd. But I almost felt like Arkansas was feeding off the negative energy of the fans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I felt like they were loving it. They were there, and if you're a gamer, you love it. So,
I think you have a hard time on that game.
Well, and it doesn't get any easier.
No,
because the very next game, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. There's Mr. questioned by the FBI, Mr. Bruce Pearl.
That's
And
right.
your number one ranked Auburn and Tigers with a 20-1 record.
Yeah. And that's going to be almost impossible to win that one.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it won't be impossible. But
so right now we have them at 3. We just don't see it happening.
yeah. Then you got Missouri. That's going to be here, right? Didn't we play them?
Yeah,
there?
Missouri at home. Missouri 17-4 beat the brakes off of us at Missouri. I mean, just took us behind the woodshed.
For some reason, even though they did that to us, I still feel like that's a winnable game.
I do too, but I mean, you got to
think
why
that is.
Well, you got to think. I mean, if you're a competitor, you're going to remember that.
Yeah.
You got to think if Kentucky was coming to Arkansas, we would have got Kentucky's best shot when they came to Arkansas. Or vice, when somebody gets you, they embarrasses you. You usually find a backbone and stand up. I'm gonna call that one a probable win. Well,
and then you got after that you got Texas. I guess will be up at Arkansas.
Yep, closing out the season against Texas. That's a probable win. Now, if they win all the games that we're calling toss-ups and lose the 3 that we're saying for sure losses, I think that was
Do you not have a game March first, fourth, and eighth.
Oh, you know what? I may be incorrect. I think you're right. I'm
Because
just
we
looking.
finished off with South Carolina, Vandy, and then Mississippi State.
Okay.
And all three of those, to me, are at least winnable.
Yeah, I think if you win 75, 80% of the winnable games, because I mean, there's only three I think that are like, guys, that's going to be hard.
I'm going to say we split with Texas.
Okay.
Just my guess.
Yeah, I mean, there may be that, that Icarus effect after playing so well at Kentucky.
Now, the problem is, let's say, because we said, well, you split with Texas, so that's a win. We said win LSU. The only game we said we thought they might win, and it's just our heart going there. I mean, there's really no logical reasons to say they're going to win it. Is the Missouri game that's ranked 15th. So the problem is,
Travis, we're better than Missouri. I don't care what the record says.
yeah,
Better than Missouri.
So, but the problem is, though, that would be our only, unless one of these teams moves up into the top 25 somehow. Well, Mississippi State, if we won that one at the end of the year, they're ranked 22nd right now. So if they stay ranked, you need some quad one wins.
Yeah.
And that's to try to get into the tournament.
So,
and that's what you're looking for. So you need one of these games, whether it's Alabama, whether that's A&M, Missouri, Auburn, or Mississippi State at the end of the year. You can get one or two of those to go your way, man. Even if you lose one or two of the ones that you think you should have a chance to win, if somehow you can get another, because right now you got Kentucky and Michigan. That's your big quad one wins, and you would like to get a couple more of those before you finish up to make that argument to stay in the tournament. Now, in order to do that, we got to keep hitting shots, Clint.
No, and that, like I said, the biggest difference between that game and every other game is their shots went in.
And not just that, but one of the things we critiqued them about, especially when Bart Reed was on a couple weeks ago, is they are driving to the basket and not getting fouled. That they were almost, especially Wagner, was almost like shying away from contact instead of going at contact. Because if you go at contact, you have a better chance of making your shot because you're going to shoot with better form that way. And if you do get contacted, you got a chance of getting free throws. And they did a much better job of that against Kentucky.
Yeah. No, they did. The driving was, I noticed that. Yes. We had a pretty large free throw discrepancy, I do believe.
Well, Thero's always been good at that. He's just so physical.
Yeah.
But Wagner was one that, me and Bart, we really talked about was bad about that. And he did a much better job of that the other night. And that's something they're going to have to keep doing. They're going to have to keep hitting some of those threes. We got to build that confidence. Which playing on the road like that and hitting shots on the road hopefully builds their confidence for these next few games also.
Yeah. Now, Travis, I saw something in the news today.
Uh-oh.
Maybe it's a couple of days ago. I saw your boy Myles Garrett is demanding a trade. He wants out of Believeland.
Oh, man.
Hey, are you spicy that y'all decide to kick a playoff quarterback and Baker Mayfield to the curb and trade your entire future for Deshaun Watson? Now, where would you rank that amongst bad trades? I mean, obviously,
I think it's extremely dumb. First of all, and I've talked about this on here before, but when we were talking about quarterbacks in the NFL, but Baker Mayfield was not a fit for Stefanski's offense.
Right, yeah.
And that's where NFL teams screw up so often is they'll put the wrong quarterback in the wrong offense, and because the coach is hard headed, instead of making the offense fit the quarterback, he tries to make the quarterback fit his offense, and that's what Stefanski's done. And I'm fine with that. Okay, you get rid of Baker, now get you a guy in there to run your offense. Instead, you trade for Deshaun Watson, who runs the same type of offense that Baker Mayfield runs.
He's basically an unethical Baker Mayfield.
Exactly. I mean, he's just same type of offense, little more athletic, faster, whatever with the ball, but still pretty much runs the same thing. Same type of pass.
I tell you remember this. What did Cleveland see to make them draft Baker Mayfield?
Leadership.
They saw the way his teammates reacted to him and immediately made a decision that was the number 1 overall draft pick.
Yeah.
And Baker, they're 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. And until the day Baker Mayfield loses a step, he is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. He is no worse than the number 10 quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. It's just what it is. But Travis, what are some other bad trades? Because I think of one that's low key bad was when the Hornets traded Kobe Bryant for Vlade Divac and a bunch of crap from LA.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I mean, LA has got a like a record of fleecing.
Well, I mean, one of the most famous, of course, is the Ricky Williams trade.
Oh, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
Who got all their picks? Like,
I forget who it was. Like, it was
but Ditka said we will trade our entire draft for Ricky Williams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our entire draft, like 1 through 7. We'll give you everything we got.
Yeah.
Ricky Williams.
That's right.
And
then Minnesota, the Herschel Walker trade.
The Herschel Walker trade, yeah.
And they pretty much built the 90s Dallas Cowboys with that trade.
And you remember, I use this as an example because we got we played fantasy football for how long?
Oh, well.
Together. Like years. I mean, like years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I tried to make a trade for Marshall Faulk, but back in the day, Marshall Faulk was the man. If you had him on fantasy football, you're good. So I tried to do that.
Yeah.
And this is and like I traded Tom Brady the year I tried to trade Tom Brady the year he took over as the Patriots starting quarterback, Clinton Portis and somebody else for Marshall Faulk. Yeah. Like became a big like a bunch of arguments, and I'm like, dude, he's got the best piece, and I have the best team. I'm giving a bunch of pieces for one guy. Yeah. Like I about quit playing fantasy football. I was so mad about it.
Yeah.
I mean, looking like, are y'all serious? Y'all trying to? Somebody else was like, I think we're going to for a trade. I'm like, it's not. It wasn't somebody giving up. That's what. Anyway, I'm getting fired up about something that happened 20 years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
I should move on. But anyway, freaking ruined my season because it finally it went through. Marshall Faulk got hurt. Clinton Portis, I think, went on to have being the best player in fantasy football. And Tom Brady ended up being Tom Brady, and I just looked stupid.
Yeah.
But I had Marshall Faulk on IR though.
That's right. Yeah. And back then, if you had Marshall Faulk or Kurt Warner, you were going to win the league.
I used to call
and then
myself
1 year Sean Andrews. Or no, Sean Alexander. Sorry.
I used to call myself the Barry Switzer of fantasy football.
Yeah.
Because I won it my very first year because I had Marshall Faulk. I won it on a last second touchdown from Marshall from Sean King to Keyshawn Johnson.
Nice.
Very last second play. It was I wouldn't have won it without it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that. And I finally won one again a year or so ago. But there's been some dark years for Degeneration Fat.
Yeah. I've won a few over the years, but I've played in a bunch of leagues, so it's
yeah, I mean
I didn't have a very good year this year, but
what do you think your overall record is in fantasy football?
Oh, I don't know. I've won probably a good 12 to 15 leagues, something like that over the years.
Yeah, but you've played like hundreds of leagues, probably.
I've played. I average 4 a year. Yeah.
So I would say probably overall record. I'm probably about a 500 fantasy football.
Yeah.
About 500, mediocre.
I mean, I usually, um, most of the time, like this year was a bad year for me, but most years in every league I play in, I make the playoffs
Yeah.
at least. So I'm usually finishing top four, in most leagues. Um, I've gotten beat. I've gotten beat epically. One year I played my first year in this one league. I'm playing with these guys that they're all in their 20s, and I was in my 40s. I was,
And they probably get like this is like the blogs and crap like that.
yeah, and I was playing them. And of course, I was like the old man in the group. But that was the year. My first year with them was Patrick Mahomes' first year as a starter, and I picked him before anybody else did. And because I'd been reading what Andy Reid was saying about him, I knew they let Alex Smith go, and I thought, I think this guy's going to be special at, you know. So, but the problem was he made the playoffs that year, and they rested him at the end of the season.
Mhm.
And well, what it was, he played like it was up in the air whether he was going to play. And I went ahead and played him, and he only played like a quarter or something that last game.
Right. Yeah.
And this league went to the last game of the year for the playoffs, which is stupid. I don't know why we do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm all for week 16, the week before the last week. That should be your final week. That way everybody's playing. So anyway, this other guy, his starter was going to be probably sitting because he was going to the playoffs. And so he started his backup, and he beat me because of that, literally by like 2 points. But that's where I lost the points was Mahomes killed me because I'd ridden that train all year. But then that last game, he didn't play the whole game. And my guy and the other guy, and I should have started my backup. And I had it like if I'd have started my backup, I'd have won by like 15 points because I think my backup got like 20 or something. So I would have done good. But anyway, so that one, that's one of the, how you have some that just like burns you. Yeah, that
Well,
one.
you see, I brought up that trade all these years later. Like it's
Yeah.
been literally 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still spicy about it.
Yeah. Now both of let's before we finish here, we're about to close it off, but both of us picked KC to win the Super Bowl, right?
The three-peat.
We both of us think Phillies maybe has more talent, but what do you think? Who's going to shine in this Super Bowl? Who do you like? Like I heard ESPN radio this morning, they were talking about who's going to be the stars that aren't the quarterbacks. Okay, so who's going to be the guys that are going to impact the game? Do you think that maybe?
Well, there's a couple people in this game that are chasing more than another Super Bowl ring.
Yeah,
I mean they are, and they're chasing legacy, and they're chasing legacies of all time greats. Patrick Mahomes is chasing Tom Brady, which seems, but then I think you talk about the greatest mountain to climb to take over any of the records is probably Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
And you got Travis Kelce that's going after some of Jerry Rice's records.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just insane to think about.
Yeah, you're right.
That a tight end's doing that. So Travis Kelce, I think Barkley's going to shine. I think he's going to do what he does. And I you know what? Something's telling me, DeAndre Hopkins is going to have him a good game.
And I hope so for his sake.
Like you hate it. You don't want him. You're pulling for Philly, but you got to feel good for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think if Philly's going to win it, Barkley has to stud it out. Like he has to have a really good game.
Yeah, he's going to have like 200 plus rushing yards.
And for Kansas City to do what we think they're going to do, I think they're going to have to shut him down, like hold him under 100 yards.
Yeah.
Therefore, I think Jones, the defensive lineman for KC, is going to be a guy that's going to impact this game because he's a guy that plays all over the defensive line. They'll line him up at nose. They'll line him up at end. They'll line him up at three technique, whatever. Okay.
He's got the most famous 40 in the history of the combine.
They're gonna put him on whoever the weakest offensive lineman is for the other team and to let him try to abuse them.
Well, and the problem is, but that's where Philly, there's really not a weak offensive lineman on Philly. Philly, I mean, they lost Jason Kelsey, and I mean, dadgummit, the guy right behind him.
Yeah. But if they can find one, he's going to find him.
Well, and I tell you that, but that's Philly's best chance to win is to keep Mahomes over there.
Yeah, that's right.
Stay right over there, control the clock.
Yeah.
Travis, what do you think when we talk next week? What do you think the most important stat of the game is going to be?
Turnovers.
Turnovers,
like in most games, but turnovers.
If Kansas City wins, we're going to be talking about turnovers. If Philly wins, we're going to be talking about time of possession. That is my.
Yep. I agree. Yeah,
so.
I think that's a good take. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching, listening to our banner, to our talk, to our fodder. We love doing it, and we thank you so much for being here. Some of y'all watch and listen every week. We appreciate that, and we want you to like and share and comment and all that good stuff.
Do all of it.
Let us know what you think.
At the same time.
Other people know what you think. And tell us what your favorite school lunches was. I think that was a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Let us know what did you like? What the pizza? I'll tell you, they've upped the game at my school with pizza.
Really?
Like it's not the square stuff anymore. It's very cheesy. In fact, it's too cheesy. Which I'm the type of guy who has never said that for anything I've eaten hardly in my life. Like I'm not gonna ever tell you something is too sweet, and I hardly will ever tell you something's too cheesy. But they put almost too. But as I've gotten older and I've tried to eat cleaner and better,
yeah,
it's the pizza's too cheesy. So anyway, folks, tell us, and some of you got kids, talk about what your kids, talk about at the school lunches.
If you went to Greenboro High School, do you remember the potato bar?
That's right. Tell us about the potato bar.
Tell us about the potato bar.
And I'll tell you, Clint, I used to do some serious flirting with the lunch ladies.
Yeah, no.
In fact, I asked one of them to prom.
Oh,
she said she didn't think her grandkids would approve.
I went to prom with you. I don't think she said yes.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
No. Hey, and one more thing. If you were in Greenboro High School when I was Greenboro Junior High when I was in 7th grade, did you see the fight between me and Ron?
That's right. Yeah. Were you around cheering that fight on?
At the tether. Like, meet me at the tether ball program.
That's right. I know I was there.
You know who won that fight? You won that fight. That's who won. The spectators won.
Well, folks, thanks so much. Clint, have a great rest of the week, brother. Enjoy as always, looking great with the flamingo shirt.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks.
Bye, Gabe.
Be out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no exam. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Sun beating down so hard I can barely breathe.